Hey guys, it's Blair, and today we're going to be exercising our legs. Okay guys, I want to remind you, if anything is painful at all to do, I want you to stop doing that movement because I don't want you to hurt yourself. So we're going to start off with some stretching so that way we prevent any injury from when we're exercising.
So I'm just going to start off with doing some stretching on my neck. You can look up to the sky, put one ear to your shoulder, put your other ear to your shoulder. You can look down. You can also do some head rotations. You can do one way and then you can switch and do some the other way. Now I'm stretching my arms, so put your arm across your chest and pull using your other arm and then switch. Next, you're going to put your arm above your head and try to reach as far down your back as you can. You can use your other hand to help. And then you're going to switch and do the same thing with the other arm. Now I'm going to do some stretching on my legs. And I'm going to keep one leg bent and one leg straight, and then I'm going to reach and touch my toes, and I'm just going to hold it there. I'm holding some of these stretches for 10 seconds. And then you're going to switch sides. You're going to bend your other leg like last time, and then the other one is going to be straight, and you're going to reach. Now I'm going to do a straddle stretch. So I'm straightening both my legs and making them in a triangle form and leaning forward and holding that. Now I'm doing the butterfly stretch. So I'm putting my feet together and then leaning forward. So now I'm going to do the pike stretch. So I'm putting both my feet straight out in front of me and reaching to touch my toes. It's okay if you can't touch your toes. Now I'm going to do a lunge. So I'm starting on my knees and I'm leaning forward, making sure my knee isn't over my toe. And then I'm going to switch legs and do the same thing on the other side. Squeeze your core so you don't fall over like I just did. Next, we're going to go onto our knees, put one of our legs straight out in front of us, and reach and touch our toes. It's okay if you can't quite go all the way down to your toes. You're going to do the same thing on the other leg, reaching your other leg straight out in front of you and reaching. Next, I was rolling out my ankles. So I choose this position to roll my ankles. You can roll them out however you want. I started doing one direction and then I started rolling out my ankles the other way. And then I switched legs and did the same thing on the other side.
Now we're going to do some cardio to get our blood pumping.
I'm going to start out with some high knees for cardio. You can put your hands out flat in front of you and try to hit your knees to your hands if you feel like that will help. Next, we're going to go into some jumping jacks. I did about 30 jumping jacks. Keep going, you're almost there. Now we're going to go into some butt kicks. So we're going to try kicking our butt the entire time, making sure your feet are getting there, like I just showed you. Keep going, you've got this. Now we're going into some on-the-spot running. Feel free to do some high knees, more jumping jacks. As long as you're moving, just keep going. You can run around in some circles if you want. You don't have to stay in one spot. Keep going, you're almost there, you've got this.
Now we're going to go ahead and do our actual exercises. So we're going to do around 10 to 20 each, depending on what your body can take.
So we're going to start it with some squats. When you're squatting, make sure that your legs make a 90-degree angle or a right angle. Now we're going to go do some box jumps. So find a stable structure. I'm using this bike rack. You want to find something that's stable. A chair would not work well because it's wobbly, but maybe a step. You're going to make sure you swing, get a good momentum before you jump. So you're going to swing, jump, and make sure you have a good sturdy landing. Now we're going to do some forward lunges. So you're going to start with your feet together and take a step forward to lunge. Don't try to go too fast because it will make it wobbly and harder to control your movement. So if you need to go slower, you can go slower and make sure you're squeezing your core.
Hi guys, I'm just popping in here real quick to say that if you need a drink, feel free to pause and go get a drink. We want you to stay hydrated and feel well. We don't want any headaches or anything later on because we weren't drinking enough water.
Now we're going to do some skater hops. So these can be a little bit tricky, but you're going to start with one of your legs crossed behind the other. You're going to swing that leg out and jump, and then swing your other leg behind. Want to make sure you're using your arms to get momentum. There's different types of skater hops. You can do lengthwise, so you can try to jump really far, or you can do height, where you try to jump higher. But now we're going to do some jump squats. So we're going to squat, and instead of standing straight up, we're going to jump. So squat, jump. Now we're going to do some sumo squats. So you're going to put your legs a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and you're going to turn your toes a little bit out, and then you're going to squat like normal, trying to make sure you're getting a right angle or 90-degree angle with your legs. Now we're going to be doing some curtsy lunges. So to do a curtsy lunge, you're going to swing one leg behind the other, and you're going to lunge, kind of like you're curtsying. Next, we're going to do some calf raises. So I'm using the bike racks again, but you want to find a sturdy surface, and you're going to go up on your tippy toes and then back down. You're going to keep doing that over and over again. If this is too easy for you, you can try doing it with your eyes closed. Now we're going to do some side lunges. So you're going to start with your feet together and reach your one leg out and do to the side and do a side lunge. Now we're going to do a wall sit. So you're going to find a flat surface. I'm using my front porch, and you're just going to pretend like you're sitting on a wall. You want to try to keep a 90-degree or right angle with your legs. Try your best not to put your hands like this, but keep them flat against the wall like this. Try to keep going even when it burns. If you think you can't go anymore, just push that little extra bit.
Done our exercises, we're going to go and cool down and stretch a little bit.
So I'm going to start on my knees, and then I'm going to reach forward and tuck my chin in. This is a yoga pose called child's pose. I'm just going to sit like this and let your heart rate slow down. Then we're going to come up and we're going to move into cobra's pose, which is another yoga pose. You're going to start on your tummy, and then you're going to push up and come into the cobra pose. When you're in this pose, you can feel free to maybe stretch out your neck some more, like what we did in the beginning, and do some hex circles. I'm going to start off by doing the pike stretch that we did earlier by putting my feet straight out in front of me and leaning forward, trying to touch my toes. Then we're going to come up, and I'm going to do one of the stretches we did earlier with one leg bent and one leg straight, and then trying to touch my toes. And then I'm going to switch legs again and do the other leg. Then I'm coming up, and I'm going to do the straddle pose again. where both legs are out straight in a triangle shape and I'm leaning forward as far as I can. I'm doing butterfly stretch again, where I'm putting both of my feet together and leaning forward. Now I'm shaking out my legs, giving them a little jiggle jiggle to relax them.
Thank you for joining me today so we could get our blood pumping together. I hope you have a good rest of camp and you're enjoying it just as much as I am.